Again. What the hell? Okay, anyways, a weird start to what has been an amazingly weird series, but perhaps in the most perfect way. It's really fun seeing these things try and happen, but this is, of course, Rifkin. I'm casting with Zeph, and hopefully this isn't the last match of the day, but if Hendralisk pulls off another victory, this will be a 4-0 sweep for him in this best of 7. But I want to point out, before we get into anything here, you guys, I think you're expecting a lot of cheese, a lot of shenanigans out of Dragon, but I gotta say, as weird as the choices he has been making, and as much as they haven't been working out, they're actually very legitimate. Like, I can completely understand from an analytical point of view every build he's gone for in this series, except for game 1. That was a really greedy build. That's a different story. But the battle cruiser trying to catch Hendralisk off guard, the 2 racks on Zephyr Jungle, really cool stuff so far. But let's not delay this too much longer. Ladies and gentlemen, spotted here in the top right corner of the map, representing Clarity Gaming, the Red Terran player, it is, of course, Dragon.
And from Complexity Gaming, in the bottom left-hand corner, we got crossspawns going down. It is Hendralisk. Does he close it out?
And Henry, if you're ever watching these VODs, because I know you are the type of guy to watch your own VODs, the reason that picture is so terrible is because you refused to give me one on Skype. But at any rate, these guys have been a great sport so far. I'm really glad they actually came out to play. It's been a lot of fun. And again, I hope next week you guys will come out for the next one. ShowcraftTV is putting on again. It's going to be Minigun versus Apocalypse. But that's neither here nor there, as we were focusing on the game at hand. Now, Dragon actually choosing for his last map to go for Whirlwind. I don't know if he's going to bank on secrecy, or if he's hoping just maybe it'll buy him enough time to get his macro up. We'll have to wait and see. But one thing I really want to raise as like a big point of view here, like, I've cast Dragon in the Zotac Cups. I've seen him in Go for StarCrafts, and he definitely has that try-hard capability within him. But the one thing that's worth noting is, despite all his trolling, despite all the silly shenanigans you will see on his stream, look at his APM right now. This guy knows how to act.
Wow. He sure does. I mean, Dragon, I do get a little disappointed sometimes that I don't get to see him play properly very often, because no doubt he's a good player. Like,
he's got the
silly
mechanics.
builds actually do work sometimes. Yeah. And that's exactly what you just said. It's a credit to his mechanics and his ability to react and adapt. I mean, as silly as the follow-up in the last game was, imagine if imagine if it hadn't worked. It certainly could have, if Hendralisk hadn't gone for Swarm Host or had gone for something different and didn't quite have what he needed to push back a siege line at the bottom of his ramp. Like, he's a clever guy. And maybe, if we're lucky, we'll see a normal game out of him and actually demonstrate his true skill. But I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, both players going to miss the first initial scout here. A little sad to see, but not a big deal. As again, as demonstrated, neither of these guys are particularly too fond of rushing. Even a 2 racks, I wouldn't even really call that a rush, though. That's like a dedicated tactical move. Yeah. But my big question is, yeah, on Whirlwind, does Dragon go for the Supreme Macro? I mean, we saw Sonic vs. Masan on this map in the warm-up series to this, and we saw how powerful Terran can be. If Dragon decides to play the standard, I mean, like, it's so weird, but maybe, just maybe, the first 3 games were like mind games to catch Hendralisk off guard and completely come back and super smash him in the last 3.
Yeah, maybe. It could happen. And I mean, if you think of the mindset of Hendralisk right now, he needs one more match to close it out. And Dragon's been throwing him curveballs the entire series. He might be expecting one again. And then if Dragon plays completely normally, Hendralisk might go ahead and play a little bit too safely, or, you know, not read what he's doing correctly, and end up losing it for himself. And the TVZs on Whirlwind certainly do oftentimes end up being the best ones, because there's a lot of space. We often get to that sort of split map situation, or almost close to. It's kind of hard because it's a huge map, but we'll see.
This is a really quick spire coming out of Hendralisk, but equally so, this is going to be Hellions with a lot of Marines to boot. I mean, 3 racks is really this early. Both players, you know, we just finished talking about them not rushing. Okay, maybe not rushing in the sense that, like, you attack on, like, minute 5, but they are rushing their attack right now. This is significantly earlier than either player would normally be at. And if I'm not legging it out, apparently it's Zeph. Oh. Well, we'll see what happens. We can't win with the BattleNet tonight. And Skype will probably auto-connect that call again in a second, so I'll just leave that hanging instead of tabbing in and out. But Dragon with a starport coming up as well. I'm wondering if this will be for Banshees or not. The Tech Lab is down on the barracks, and he's actually going to go for Stim off of it, so not going to go straight to Banshees or anything. I would love to see him do some elevator play on this map. I think it's really, really spectacular with a 3rd base location. You could be really annoying as a Terran jumping from the 3rd to the natural, or sorry, not from the 3rd to the natural, rather 3rd to the main.
Yes, indeed. Sorry about that, guys. My internet strikes again. But yeah, this is going to be interesting from Dragon. I mean, instead of the third CC going for a lot of aggression, does Hendralisk scout it? That's the big question. He needs to know what's coming at him.
Sorry for the sound boost. I totally forgot that happens, or else I would have just shut up as soon as Skype dropped, guys. Again, my apologies. We're not. I don't know what's happening tonight, but we are cursed in the. But you know, I'm glad we're getting all the cursed out of the way now, so it'll be good for DreamHack later.
Yeah, hopefully the Zeph curse, as some are starting to call it, doesn't transfer to DreamHack. That would be pretty terrible.
Yeah, I'm so stoked. You guys have no idea. There's a lot of casters who they cast. They want to get a career out of this. I cast because I love StarCraft, and just actually, well, maybe I'll put that story on hold. The one thing I'm really looking forward to is the fact that we had such great matches right now in the North American scene, and we're going to be jumping right over to Europe later tonight with DreamHack, not Valencia, sorry, Bucharest. So I'm very excited about all the StarCraft we're going to be casting over the next day and a half.
Yeah, tons of StarCraft to be done, and now the mutas are out on the field. They're looking for those Hellions, and they will start to pick away at them, bully them off the map, and suddenly the entire map control is all for Hendralisk. How does Dragon move out against this muta threat?
No, he's not going to, that's for sure. But the Marines are here ready to catch this. Again, the downside of getting a lot of Mutalisks out early is like you're not going to have a lot of ground support for them, so the Marines are going to be kind of free to dance around with the Mutalisks. But of course, the mobility of the Mutalisks going to allow them to get in here. Stim not quite done. It is seconds away, about 10 in-game seconds at this point, so can't quite catch up. But Hellions going to take this Q to run right across the field, and Dragon, I think, is going to find Hendralisk a little off guard.
Oh, they certainly are. This is the perfect opportunity to do the counter damage he needs. The drones, they are pulled. Are they going to line up for those Hellions? The Queen doing her best.
Oh, he's stuck on one drone. He got stuck on one drone, and he was choked, and they're unable to chase outwards.
And they will all go down for 9 workers killed total.
That's not too bad, but the follow-up to this is going to be quite deadly. Again, Hendralisk, by getting these fast Mutalisks out on the field, did not have the ground support and still doesn't. He's just now getting 14 more Lings out, but these will not be Banelings in time. And even if they are, as we see, speed isn't even finished.
Needs to poke out and see if he can buy some time. If he can snipe the Medivacs, that would be huge. But the Stim goes down from Dragon, and he chases those mutas away. He's looking to pick a few of them off. He doesn't want to let Hendralisk get to that big clump of mutas that's so difficult to deal with in the mid-game.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's kind of. I just hope Dragon doesn't get too distracted with them. Like knocking down this third base, definitely got to be a priority. A cancel already goes off, so nicely done. Just his presence alone forced that cancel. But now there's a lot of Banelings at home, and right now, for those who don't know, by the way, Marines with Stim can outrun regular Banelings on creep. But once Centrifugal Hooks finishes and Banelings have that speed bonus, Marines, even Stim, cannot outrun the Banelings. So Dragon's going to be in a really dangerous spot if he waits too much longer.
This is actually really nice for Dragon though, because he cancelled the third base, which Hendralisk really needs. And on top of that, he forced gas into Banelings when Hendralisk was really trying to focus on getting as many mutas out as possible before he actually has to deal with this biomine composition from Dragon. So
this is
Dragon's
what I'm talking about, though. This is the more standard play that I'm loving out of Dragon. When you see him play mechanically like this, I mean, look at the resources lost. It's very even, but realistically, the Zerg player is slightly further behind just because he doesn't have that third base. Exactly.
And Dragon doesn't have to take an engagement. He can just continue to posture like this, set up, move in, clear some creep, and then move out and then swing back around. He's continuing to deny Hendralisk's ability to take a third base, and he has to keep pumping out units as well to make sure that he doesn't accidentally die to Dragon's push.
Yeah, meanwhile, the third commander at home is finishing up, so Dragon's going to be able to take his third base fairly soon. Of course, Hendralisk is now reestablishing his own hatchery, but looks like he wants to try and take a fight here. Dragon's got to spread his units out. What Widowmines do go down, but the Banelings have got to get targeted. He does get most of the Banelings, but here comes round number 2, and there's no Widowmines left. Dragon forced to spread. He does some amazing spreading, though. Oh my god.
Yeah, beautiful target fire from Dragon there at the last second on the Banelings. Manages to keep his units intact, and in turn that saves his medevacs, which are ever so important with this composition as well. But the mutas, they've found some breathing room. They're going to go across the map, try and perhaps pick off some add-ons, do some damage in the main if they can, but Dragon is not done yet. He's already ready with his new rally of units.
I actually
perhaps
like to
pick off some stragglers.
He's looking to choke off the reinforcements, but unfortunately just barely missing them. These Widowmines, can they burrow? Dragon's not going to burrow them in time, so they will go down. Meanwhile, the Marines are just going to push across the field. And if he shuts down this third base, that's all he needs to do at this point, because you guys got to remember, like, a lot of this game was dedicated to Hendralisk getting those early Mutalisks out. But okay, there's a lot of Banelings.
Yeah, there is indeed, and Dragon's kind of like, don't really have Widowmines to fall back on.
But he's trading really effectively. 3 Marines for about 3 Banelings there is a really nice start.
Yeah. Now, Hendralisk knows exactly how big Dragon's force is, with what he's seen with the mutas and those changelings there, so he should be able to adjust his amount of army accordingly. Still hasn't been able to drone up that third at all though, so continuing to make units works just as well. Like, what's a third if you can't actually mine from it? Sure, it's extra lava, but does he have the money to even use it all?
The really big thing too, let's not forget Dragon, he's able to take his own third safely. He doesn't have to worry about counterattacks because he's busy keeping Hendralisk so busy at home.
Yeah, he certainly is. And he's finally backing up to his third now just to make sure it gets up okay. We've got Lings running around that looks like they might try and run into the third, get some scouting information. He will indeed see that it's down there. Won't be able to pop in there and pick off any SCVs, unfortunately.
No, and I like that the turrets are coming down really quick too. Along with these Widow Mines, it will protect his base from any minor attacks for the time being, but a minor attack is not coming. Hendralisk, I think he's recognized that his opponent is now actually trying to play this game to the fullest potential of his capability, knowing that he's on this last game, potentially going out here. He's got to play with full force if he wants to knock Dragon out.
This is actually a pretty smart move from Hendralisk because he's gone, okay, I cannot start droning a third base at 15 minutes, 30 seconds in the game. I'm better off doing a huge attack. He's spreading out. Will it
Oh, Banelings are going to come in from the side, though. He's not spread out enough. There's a lot of Banelings here, but actually they're not getting the best connects off. Does try and back up behind the Widow Mines, but of course the Mulos are there to greet him. But all the Banelings are gone. It's just Marines behind him. He's got the missile turrets as well. A couple Banelings trying to connect to the last few Marines. They do get those connects off, but Dragon holds. The Mulos are still a big threat, though. He's not out of the water yet.
The stutter step from Dragon at the end there was beautiful, and now Hendralisk is just continuing to rally across the map. +1 attack for the mutas should be done in about another minute or so. More Banelings and Lings coming down as well, but having held on to his base so far, he's still got his medevacs. Does he have Widow Mines? Does he have reinforcements? That's what I'm looking for from Dragon.
Yeah, the really key thing is look at the resources lost here in the lower right, guys. I'll put it in the top left too so you can see it. These trades for Hendralisk are not going effectively. Banelings are very expensive units, and unless you connect to 3 or more Marines, it's not really worth them dying.
Exactly, and Hendralisk actually needs to kill him now. If he doesn't kill him with this push,
Dragon will snowball.
Yeah, there's no way.
He's coming up on 3-2. Hendralisk has no upgrades to his name. But the Banelings, I think, are going to take out this base. All these SCVs are going to be for naught. Can they hide behind the Widow Mines? There's the big question. They could save the day. They do save, but the second wave is coming in here, but still not a good trade for Hendralisk. He needs... Oh my god, he actually loses all those other Banelings as well. But he needs them to deal with the Marines, and sadly, Dragon has all these Marines still standing strong.
He does. With that third base being up and running for as long as it was, his economy kicked in, his production is through the roof, like you mentioned as well. Just to emphasize once again, the upgrades are so important in this scenario. Drilling claws coming down too, and we're looking at 50 SCVs to 50 drones, and the 3 base is down for Dragon. Hendralisk has actually started droning his third base in the background a little bit.
But we now got +2 armor. We've got +3 weapons coming up here shortly. Hendralisk, these Banelings are going to start no longer like one-shotting the Marines. It's not going to be easy to really deal with anything. Nice spreads coming out, though. Dragon will still prevail. Hendralisk is going to tap out, and Dragon will start churning this around in game number 4 when it counts.
Sick moves from Dragon. That's exactly what I wanted to see out of him. I knew he had it in him. Yep. And boy, did he prove his worth.